But first, the UFO conference. Did y'all check it out? Did you see it? Did you see what went down at the UFO conference? I told you. I don't know if I had any correspondents that made it in. Billy Carson was there asking questions. That nigga stood right on the, hey, my nigga. Well, shout out to Billy Carson. But man, and real quick, on the sidebar, if y'all haven't seen the Billy Carson video he just did 2 weeks ago for Gaia, he did a lecture for Gaia about a couple of weeks ago. You can punch it in. It wasn't on his channel. I forgot. Somebody has the channel, the link that he did. Please put that in the chat. But he showed pictures from Mars because he has his own telescope, and he was taking pictures, photographs of Mars. And then also they got NASA pictures from Mars from, I think, a lady who worked at NASA at some place. She worked at NASA and shit. They received these pictures. So he was showing his video of Mars. Mars is not red. It's not a red planet. The red planet they be showing us, the picture he has of Mars is green and blue. It's all alive. The pictures, the actual pictures from Billy Carson's telescope that he has of Mars, it's alive. It's all kind of colors on Mars. But then he starts to show the satellite, the big satellite pictures from Mars. And guess what this nigga, man, y'all have to go see these pictures from Billy Carson. God damn. This is why he was at the conference on Monday. And he also had, he did the live stream with the dude, with Stephen Greer too. But the pictures Billy Carson got from Mars, goddamn, y'all. Have y'all seen those? Holy shit. This nigga got the pyramids, he got the faces. Actually, I mean, faces upon faces upon faces. Native American faces, African faces, Olmec heads up there. Shit. It is crazy. This nigga showed an old dilapidated shack on Mars. There's a house on Mars. It's a broke down house. Looked like it's from 1870 something. It's in the desert, middle of the desert. Roger Gross, appreciate you, brother. He said, I saw the documentary Unacknowledged. Yeah. Document that Unacknowledged, he's breaking that off. And this is just a continuation of that. So Mars has a goddamn shack up there, but that's not the best thing. He's showing all this. They have the statues like you see in Kemet. They have like of the pharaohs. They have embedded in the mountains, in the side of the mountains, the super tall. There's one on the one he showed. I'm sure there's more, but there's one on Mars, so you know where that came from now. Then what this nigga showed is undoubtedly let you know that Mars was inhabited. He got a picture of a tank on Mars. Go look this Billy. Undeniable. It's a tank on Mars rolling on the road, on the fucking dirt road. It looked like some type of space age tank. It looked like it's a super tank, but it's undeniably a tank. Goddamn, on Mars. So they've been lying like a motherfucker. But at the UFO conference, now the UFO conference to me, they took too much time they took too much time away from the whistleblowers. So like the guy Stephen Greer, he got up there at the beginning and he broke down. He wanted to give a lot of information, I guess, of some whistleblowers who died, and he wanted to make sure that they got their due. So he presented their information. That part was good because he presented the spaceships that they saw. The spaceships that they saw and the little alien body that they pulled from the spaceship, because these are recreations, like AI recreations, depictions. And so they showed the soldiers carrying the alien body from the crash site. A little bitty motherfucker, like motherfuckers probably about that big, like maybe about, let's see, yep, he was about like a little nigga, looked like a little baby, but goddamn, it was a fucking alien. So these are from the dead people who had passed away, and he wanted to get their accounts in there, right? But then he started to break down this, he started to break down all this stuff, and he starts talking about the programs and how they haven't been known to the government, the Congress, and all these, and only known to a certain few within the government. And then he started breaking down, processes of how to get this, how to get it known and what they're going to do with the information and all that. Oh, we didn't need to see none of that shit. Like, come on, Stephen Greer, get your bitch ass out of here, nigga. We came to see the whistleblowers. Like, nigga, we ain't come to see you. You are on 1 million videos on YouTube. We can see your shit. These whistleblowers, we came to see the whistleblowers. So he took a whole goddamn it was like supposed to be 2 hours. He took a whole goddamn hour talking about what they plan to do. You could have put that in a business plan or an action plan and submitted that to all the reporters. We didn't have to hear it. We came to see and hear what the whistleblower saw. So finally, when he got around to the whistleblowers, he let the oldest nigga go first, because this nigga was, he wasn't totally there, and this nigga was losing it a little bit. And so he started going off on some UFOs he had saw when he was an airline pilot, not an airline pilot, but an Air Force pilot. And so he had saw these, he had 2 encounters he was talking about. And so he saw the thing, and the thing had rolled up on him and went away, and his stuff had cut out, his equipment had cut out, and all this and that type of stuff. And then it was just moving up on him and taking boot and going. So he was talking. So this was the alien. This was an alien or spaceship or UFO that he encountered, right? So they came back and they told him, don't say nothing about it. Then he saw another one, and then when he was out flying, and they had maneuvers, and he was trying to catch it and all this and that. And then they came back. And then they told him, don't say nothing about it. So that was cool. That was cool. We've seen those. But then the second guy he had up there was a Hispanic brother. Now this nigga, he took too long too. He told every detail of the mission he went on. We didn't need to hear all of that, nigga. Just say, yo, I went on a mission, and when I got there, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. He told us about every 2 seconds and the equipment they took and the niggas he was with, and they flew out to this op. Man, oh, Preston Davis, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And he's telling us all this stuff that I guess he's trying to set up the fact that this mission was real. So he's trying to give you as many details as possible so that you'll know this was a real mission. I get it. But we don't need to hear all that, nigga. We don't need to hear all that. Nigga, tell us what happened. So, in that one, he said that he was in Indonesia, and there had been like this earthquake and flood or some shit like that, and they were supposed to be giving relief. And then when he went out there, he took his team, his not platoon, but it was like his little strike team or his rescue team, but his little military team, and they went out into the mountains up in Indonesia. And when they went out into the mountains, they came up on a bunch of military cats dressed in black, and they were standing in front of a goddamn a flying saucer. So they have the depiction. So and everything that they show you, they have AI depictions of everything they saw. So he said they was in front of a flying saucer, and they were loading shit. They had some stuff on this cart, and they were loading stuff. They were taking it to this platform that was sitting under the flying saucer. So the flying saucer was levitating, and it had a platform under it, and so they were taking stuff and putting it on the platform, and then the stuff would just boom go up into the ship, right? And on the top of the flying saucer was a pyramid. It had a pyramid as its capstone at the top. So it was a flying saucer with a pyramid on it, a capstone pyramid, which is crazy. So he said the military cats. Lee, thank you. Appreciate you, girl. He said the military cats who was dressed in black, they was, he didn't like to call them men in black or whatever, but he was basically saying they were like, he knew they were American military because of a lot of the guns and stuff they had, but they said they had different guns that they had never seen before. And then, and the stuff that they were doing let them know that they were Americans. But then he said they basically subdued them and basically were going to kill them, telling them, y'all shouldn't be here. We should just smoke y'all right now, whatever, boom, boom, boom. So then he said that as they were talking and going back and forth, whether they should kill him or whatever, he said the spaceship, once they finished loading all the stuff on the ship, the spaceship, or whatever it was, the flying saucer, I'm calling it a spaceship, but the flying saucer, they said the flying saucer rose and boom, it took off. It said like at about 3,000 miles an hour. It took off. It was there, and then it wasn't there. That fast. And they said, but it took off so fast, you didn't hear a sound, though. It didn't make a sound. It didn't make a breeze. It didn't disturb any of the, he said the coconuts were left on the trees. No leaves were moved. No leaves moved at all. So basically, it was using that gravity technology that they got from those extraterrestrials, allegedly from, you know, what Stephen Greer was talking about. They mastered gravity, power of gravity in 1954. So this is supposedly what one of the techno or part of the technology that they were using. Took off, didn't hear a goddamn sound. And so then the dudes, once they took off, I forgot what he said, what they did with them, but they guys packed up and took them somewhere and then and dropped them off somewhere. But so that was this thing, and that was supposed to be human. That was man-made. So they were going back and forth over the extraterrestrial ones and then the man-made ones. So that was a human man-made one, and they had supposedly had been causing the natural disasters that was going on over in Indonesia. So then he went off. Then another dude got up there. This is probably the illest one, where he said that, and this dude, I guess he got blown up, so his mind was a little messed up. He had a problem staying on track, and finally, when he got through the story, he was a soldier out at Raytheon. He was like a military dude whose post was at Raytheon, and they had been creating all these technologies, military shit. Angela Moore, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank everybody for hitting the super chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Also, if you don't want to do that, the Cash App is Real Nagas 9. Just in case you want to hit the Cash App, I got it back. Real Nagas, the number 9. So this dude was saying that at Raytheon, he was standing on a building, and he saw this big ass ship coming in, and he had two Raytheon executives standing on the side with him. And this big ass ship started coming in, and he started looking at them, and the Raytheon cats weren't tripping. So at that point he knew that was one of theirs. It was a Raytheon, engineered vehicle, whatever, because he had said he had seen stuff like that before. So he was like, so go look at it. I can't remember how he explained the ship, but it was crazy. It had all these 7 different lights across it. It was in a V shape. It looked like an alien spaceship, but it was Raytheon, right? So then he said that that tripped him out or whatever. So then he left, and he was going home with his girl. And as he was on the dirt road, this is all out, I think, in Nevada somewhere, some spot out in Nevada. So he's on the dirt road, and one of the ship comes down. He sees the ship, like it wasn't that same ship, but it was another ship. And he said the ship, it was black or whatever, and it felt like it was talking to him. It was like in vibration mode, and he could feel it was. And so he said he tried to get out of it. It parked right in front of his car, and he got out to see what it was. Him and his girl. His girl was frozen. He said his girl was stuck in suspended animation. He tried to walk over and he tried to touch it, and it felt like it was alive. He said he rubbed it, and it felt smooth going one way, and then the other way it felt like a cat's tongue or something like that. It had prickles on it or whatever. Then he was like, it was vibrating and talking to him at the same time. Then this nigga said it rose up a little bit, and then he lifted and went straight parallel on his back as he was getting lifted in the air. And then he said he passed out. He blacked out. Then when he came to, this nigga was on the ground. Then he was on the ground or something. And then the Raytheon scientist came out. And he said, oh, shit, this is a Raytheon shit. So he said people all in these white coats and shit started to come out and test this nigga. I'm like, so this is the technology that America has, that they've gotten from the aliens. Then the last two real quick. These are real fast because they ran out of time and they couldn't give these dudes too much time, which was crazy because they probably had some of the best stories. But one dude, he said he was a little kid and his dad was a contractor for the military, and he got called out to one of the jobs where they were contracting one time, and he took his son with him because they used to go places all the time. And he goes out there and he says when they get into the building or the warehouse or wherever, they see 3 big ass rocks. One was a rectangular rock and said it had to weigh tons upon tons. It was a giant rock. Then 2 other big like mountain looking rocks. One was levitating and one was on the ground. And then he said that the rectangular rock was levitating, and it had a black box sitting on top of it, and it was levitating. Now, anybody knows about Edward Leedskalnin? Go look up the brother Edward Leedskalnin. He's the dude who built the Coral Castle over in Florida. Now he built this Coral Castle in the middle of the night. He was only like 120 pound, 130 pound dude, and these bricks or these rocks, coral rocks, weigh tons. And he built it by himself, no construction equipment or nothing. So they were wondering how this nigga did it. And so basically, he said some kids were spying on him, and they had came up. And some kids were spying on him, and they came up and they said what they saw. And they saw that he had a black box that he would take and he would put it on the rock. And then after he put it on the rock would lift and he would move the rock like that. Now, Edward Leedskalnin has a book that he wrote that shows you this stuff or how to do it if you're a scientist. It's called Magnetic Current. Go look, Edward Leedskalnin. That's his Leedskalnin. Yo, Sam Stone 41, what up? So I put those Mars pics from Billy Carson channel and the Police Stop Lawcast missing. Thank you, brother. So I have a lot because I was part of that webinar. That's what's up, man. If you can do a link or something and put them in the chat, that'd be awesome too. Sam Stone has the link to those Billy Carson Mars pics. Damn, man, you made me lose my train of thought. Where was that? Damn. So the black box. So Edward Leedskalnin, right? So he had a black box that he would do. Then Tesla. Then you fast forward to Tesla, and they said Tesla, he had some type of black box after he died. They had some type of black box where he could change the frequency of anything, and he could also make it move or levitate, right? So Tesla was into vibration frequency. So was Edward Leedskalnin. So if you know about anything about sound, vibration, if you raise the frequency of something, you can raise it to a super high vibration and levitate anything, rock, anything it is, right? So that's the things he was working with, and that black box would levitate it. So the kid, he said he saw that, and they left, or no, before they left, the military wanted them to sign a non-disclosure. And they was like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to sign the non-disclosure. He said the next day, the very next day, within 24 hours, this nigga's dad, his business was shut down. Everything was confiscated from this nigga's business. They went and shut his whole business down, took everything. He owned all of that. Took it and then snatched his bank accounts in 24 hours. This nigga went from a millionaire, multi-millionaire construction contractor to broke. And then the nigga went homeless in 24 hours because he wouldn't sign the non-disclosure form. So, and then the last nigga, he said that he was out in, he had the highest clearance out in the South Pole where they had this, they have a death ray. They have these things where they put out these death ray. They're able to direct a weapon anywhere in the world, this death ray. So, goddamn, you need to go check that one out because he literally only had 5 minutes, like, which was messed up because he had probably the most information out of all the cats. They only gave him 5 minutes, but that was the conference, and so they was breaking off some dope stuff. Now, the government whistleblower who had came out a few days before the conference, I know y'all remember this guy, who came out and said he had information of the black programs, but he didn't see it himself, right? This dude David Grush. Now he been getting a lot of play on a whole lot of alternative media places, and then he finally started to make the mainstream media, right? This last week, people started talking about it. Now they released the extra part of the extra footage of the interview. I don't know if y'all saw this. Now, at the conference, Stephen Greer was saying that they were going to try to make it seem like the extraterrestrials were hostile, right? And this goes with Project Bluebeam that they want to use, you know, a fake alien scare in order to bring the one world order in, right? So Stephen Greer saying the same thing. They want you to think the aliens are aggressive and warlike, so that you'll be scared when they announce, you know, when something happens and something blows up and they say, oh, an alien just blew up, you know, a military ship or you know, a cruise liner or some shit like that. And then you'll be, oh my God, the aliens are coming to get us. It's Independence Day. So that's what Stephen Greer was saying. So now in the extra part of the video, the interview, this dude, David Garouche, he said, the guy asked him, have the aliens murdered any Americans? Now, why would you use that language? Have the aliens murdered any Americans? So first off, it's 500 people, only 284 likes. If y'all ear hustling, get the hell out. Get the hell out right now. Take your goddamn shoes off when you enter my dojo. Y'all know how I go. Don't make me have to drop bars up in here. Please take your shoes off. That means hit the like button for people who are just tuning in. If you're a new watcher to the channel, that means hit the like button when I say take your shoes off when you enter my crib. So yeah, the whistleblower. So when he comes out, the guy asked him, have they murdered any Americans? And then the nigga goes, well, yeah, you know, some American, you know, I would, you know, you have some encounters and then some encounters and blah, blah, blah. So basically, he tried to say that the aliens killed some humans. But they used the term murder. Now, you see how the term, that makes you think that the aliens are evil and warlike and hostile. Were the humans trying to kill the aliens and they were defending themselves? Is that how the humans died? Because he didn't say that. He just wants you to think, oh, the aliens killed some humans. So that, like I said last week, why is this dude coming out? Why is the Pentagon allowing this dude to come out and say all this stuff when they know the questions that were going to get asked in the interview, and they agreed, which means they saw that question. Has the aliens murdered anyone? Any humans? They want y'all, see, the Pentagon comes out, oh shit, we don't know nothing about what he's talking about. Oh, we don't know shit. Oh my God, I don't know. Shit, what you talking about? Aliens? Goddamn aliens, nigga. I don't know shit about no goddamn aliens, nigga. Only alien I know is motherfucker. His name is Hector Hernandez. That's the only alien I know. His name is Juan Fernandez. That's the only aliens I know. So that's the deniability they trying to have. But they allow him to go out and say, yes, give you the truth. They're going to give you the truth. Yes, we have black programs with aliens and blah, 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 extraterrestrials, boom, 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 right? But then so vague. So now you don't believe him really. So then they can still say, well, we told you. But we made the nigga tell you in this shady ass way so that you didn't believe him. And then made him say, oh, they kill humans. So now that you got that in the back of your head, oh, these aliens is killing humans? What the? See? That's what all of this shit is about.